Okay. All right. So we'll get started. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we will chant 18 verses today. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrim Karne, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudhamate, Mudhajahi Hidhana Gamatrishnam Kuru Satbuddhim Manasi Vitrishnam Yallabhase Nijakarmopatam Vittam Tena Vinodaya Chittam Bhaj Govindam Bhaj Govindam Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate Naristana Bharana Bhidesham Drishtva Maga Mohavesham Etanaman Savasadi Vikaram Manasi Vichintaya Varam Varam Bhaj Govindam Bhaj Govindam Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate Nalini Dalagata Janamati Taralam Tatvajivitam Atishaya Chapalam Vitti Vyadhyabhimanagrastam Lokam Shokahatam Cha Samastam Bhaj Govindam Bhaj Govindam Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate Yavat Vitto Parjana Saktahat Nija Parivaro Rakta Paschat Jivati Jara Jara Dehe Vartam Kopina Prachati Gehe Bhaj Govindam Bhaj Govindam Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate Yavat Pavano Nivasati Dehe Tavat Prachati Kushalam Gehe Gatavati Vayo Deha Pai Bharya Bibhyati Tasmin Kaye Bhaj Govindam Bhaj Govindam Govindam भज मूढमते बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्त वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्त परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्त भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारोऽयमतीव विचित्र कस्य त्वं कुत आयात तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रात भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वं निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्त्वं निश्चलतत्त्वे जीवनमुक्ति भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते वयसि गते कामविकार शुष्के नीरे काकसार क्षीणे वित्ते का परिवारो ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसार भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते मा कुरु धन जन यौवन गर्वं हरति निमेषत् काल सर्वं मायामयमिदम् अखिलं बुद्ध्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते दिन्यामिन्यौ सायं प्रातः शिशिर वसन्तौ पुनरायात काल क्रीडति गच्छति आयु तदपि न मुञ्चति आशावायु भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते काते कान्ता धनगत चिन्ता वातुल किं तव नास्ति नियन्ता त्रिजगति सज्जन संगति रेखा भवति भवार्णवतरणे नौका भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते जटिलो मुण्डी लुञ्चित केशः काषायाम्बर बहुकृत वेश पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढो उदरनिमित्तं बहुकृत वेश भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते अङ्गं गलितं पलितं मुण्डं दशनविहीनं जातं तुण्डं वृद्धो याति गृहीत्वा दण्डं तदपि न मुञ्चति आशापिण्डं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते अग्रे वह्नि पृष्ठे भानुरात्रौ चुबुकुसुमर्पितजानु करुतलभिक्षा तरुतलवास तदपि न मुञ्चति आशापाश भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते कुरुते गंगा सागर गमनं व्रतपरिपालनमथवा दानं ज्ञानविहीन सर्वमतेन भजति न मुक्तिं जन्मशतेन भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सुरमन्दिर तरुमूल निवासः शय्या भूतलम् अजिनं वास सर्वपरिग्रह भोगत्याग कस्य सुखं न करोति विराग भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. So last week we saw verse number 17, Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Vratparipalanam Athvadanam Jnanavihina Sarvamatena Bhajadina Muktim Janmashatena. So if you do all the practices that are prescribed by the religion, in all the religious practices, but as long as the knowledge is not kindled in your bosom, all these practices have not served their purpose. So what was the purpose of the practice? Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam, undertaking the pilgrimage of Ganga Sagar. We had said that this pilgrimage gives us a vision of our goal. Vrat Paripalana. So by, taking up vows and practicing them, it gives us a willpower. And through charity, Athvadanam, and through charity, we overcome our attachments. And if we do this, then of course knowledge will be in our bosoms. But otherwise, the practice remains meaningless, is what he was trying to say. That the purpose is we know that what is the goal? To recognize that while I am the individual, I will merge with the universal. That is the pilgrimage of Ganga Sagar. To get that universal vision is what is knowledge. And when you get that universal vision, what is removed from our lives will be fear, anxieties, sorrows, all that will be replaced by bliss, joy, love, because that is our true nature. So in verse number 18, he describes, now this verse describes a person who has reached that state. However, this verse has not to be taken literally. We have to understand what is the message that is being given to us in this verse. And the most important line in this verse is the last line. So this verse is Sura Mandir Taru Mula Nivasaha. So this person, he's sheltering in temples under some trees. Sura Mandir Taru Mula Nivasa Shaya Bhutalam Ajinam Vasaha. He, sleeps on the ground with nothing on it, and he wears a deer skin. Shaya Bhutalam Ajinam Sarva Parigraha Bhoga Tyaga. This person has renounced all ideas of possession and thirst to enjoy. And to such a person whose who has dispassion, vairagya. And that we really need to understand the word vairagya. What joy is not available to this person? All joys, kasya sukham. What joy is not available to the person who has dispassion? This is the verse. So as I said, this verse is not to be taken literally. We don't have to, if all joys are available by Suramandir Tarumula Nivasa, by, living under a tree, sheltering under a tree by a temple, sleeping on a naked floor and just donning deer skin, then that is what we will all undertake. But the key thing here, kasya sukham na karoti viraga. For one who has dispassion, what joy is not available to this person? So viraga, again, I will, repeat, which I think I have done in the past, is viraga, which means vairagya, is not opposite of raga. Raga is attachment. And opposite of raga is dvesha, which is avarice. So viraga is absence of raga. There is no attachment. So what do we mean by no attachment? We have, our lives are full of attachments. When we wake up in the morning, if we don't get our cup of tea or coffee, it is not just get our cup of tea or coffee. If that cup of tea or coffee is not the right temperature, does not have the right amount of milk and sugar, does not, if you're used to masala chai, then you get a plain cup of tea. We feel our day is not made because I didn't get my right cup of tea. If we do not have our bed that we sleep in every night, we wake up in the morning, I did not have a good sleep. Why did I not have a good sleep? No, the bed was comfortable, everything was good, but it was not my bed. So this attachment to things, we are used to comforts, to luxuries, and there is no problem with comforts and luxuries. That is not the point here. But if we do not have what we are used to, that is that attachment, then no matter what we have, we become uncomfortable, and that becomes a source of some discontent, some discomfort, some displeasure. And ours in this day and age has gone to the extent that if we forget to charge our phones at night and we don't have our messages available to us, then we feel, oh my goodness, something is missing. So presence or absence of things should not make a difference to us. That is what is to be understood, that we recognize that happiness is not in any of the objects. Comfort and luxury is entirely different, but somewhere we have misunderstood that comfort and luxury is happiness. And then we get attached to that. We may have comfort in our life. Today we can have it. How wonderful. Enjoy it independently. You don't need to give up anything. But tomorrow, if you are under a situation where you don't have the comforts that you are used to, it should make no difference to you. You should be able to sleep at the same time. I'm reminded of one place where Gurudev Chinmayananji was invited to give a lecture. It was in one of the bigger missions in India. I don't remember the name of the mission. And the head of that mission had given strict instructions to his disciples at the mission to make sure that everything was done perfectly and that Swamiji was looked after in the best possible way. He had personally checked out everything. He was not going to be able to be there during the time that Swamiji was going to be at that mission. Swamiji was there for 8-10 days or whatever it was, and he left. And when the head of the mission returned, he told the students, his disciples, to take him to the room where Swamiji was staying. He wanted to make sure everything had been done properly for Swamiji. He went into the room and he looked at the bed. The bed was just 5 feet long, and Swamiji was 6 feet tall. So he looked at the students and he said, "Is this the bed you gave him? Do you realize how tall he was?" And he immediately picked up the phone and he called Swamiji and apologized. He said, "I'm so sorry. I don't know how you could sleep in that bed." Swamiji said, "What was the problem? I could go to bed. I was sleeping very comfortably diagonally. My feet stayed in, my head was on the bed. I slept well. I had no problems." So this is my point, that, our reaction would be, how would I sleep in this bed? We are so used to things that should be our way. There are so many beautiful stories also that are associated with these to explain attachment. So there were 2 seekers who were learning from a great master, and after they had learned, they both went their independent ways. So one of them invited the other to visit him, and when the second seeker went, he saw the grandeur in which the first seeker lived. He had a tent, of course, but this tent was gilded in gold. And, there were all the luxuries that one can think of in life. They were there for this person. And the second one lived very humbly and had absolutely no possessions. And he walked into the tent and he thought, what is this? He says he's a seeker, and this is how he was concerned that really this person is not practicing what we have been taught. Anyway, after they had a good lunch, the first seeker said to the second one, "Let's go for a walk." And they both went for a walk, and they started walking. Finally, it was the end of the day, and the second one looked at the first and said, "Are we going to return?" So the first one said, "No, there's no need to return." And the second one says, "Oh, I left my bowl behind." Now, the first one was not attached to anything, and the second one was to his humble bowl. So that is attachment. It is not, what you have, what you don't have. But if you carry it with you all the time. There's another very popular Zen story which brings the point so beautifully, even whether it is with idea or teaching. Again, there were 2, a master and his student. They were walking together, and they come upon, they're walking in the woods, of course, and they come by a river where they have to cross the river. And just there, and of course, this is a Zen story, so it's based in Japan. And there's this beautiful lady in a beautiful kimono by this river wanting to go across. And her kimono would get wet and soiled and dirty just walking through the river. So the master, he picks up the lady and he takes her across and he puts her down. And the student sees his master pick up this beautiful lady in his arms and carry her across the river. And he was very disturbed. They continue walking. And finally, the student cannot resist. And he asks the master, he said, "Master, you carried that lady And the master said to the student, I left her on the other side of the bank. You are still carrying her. That is attachment. You see. So, and as long as we have these attachments, there will be sorrows in our life. So he says, have things. There is nothing. Presence or absence should make no difference. Realize that they are, they are comfort. They are not happiness. Happiness, we have to be happy. We have to be independently. And as long as we remain attached to anything in life, there will be sorrow. Bhartrihari has written Vairagya Shatakam. And I think in that Vairagya Shatakam, verse number 31 is very beautiful. I think I have that verse in Sanskrit, but I might be missing a few. I don't know. Bhoge roga bhayam, kule chuti bhayam, vitte nripalat bhayam, mane dainya bhayam, bale ripu bhayam, रूपे जरा भयम, शास्त्रे वादी भयम, गणे खल भयम, काये कृतांत भयम, सर्वम वस्तु भयान्वितम, वैराग्यम एवं अभयम. So he says that when one is indulging in pleasures, there is a fear of disease. When you have a lineage, then you a noble lineage or a good standing lineage, then you fear bad name and fear of losing your reputation. If you have wealth, you fear the king, taxes. If you have pride, you fear that you could be insulted. If you are strong, you fear your enemy, a stronger enemy. If you are beautiful, you fear old age. If you are well educated, shastra, scholar, then you fear losing an argument. And if you have virtues, you fear, your fear of vices is there. And if you are attached to your body, there is a fear of death. Everything is wrought with fear. Vairagyam evam abhayam. So if you have detachment, only then will there be no fear. So he's not saying don't have wealth. He is not saying don't be beautiful. He is not saying, give up your body. None of that. Just be strong, but don't be attached to your strength. Then you won't fear your enemy. Old age will come. So why be attached to your beauty? You are a scholar. That's wonderful, but don't be attached to your scholarliness. And as this is the key thing, have it all with detachment, and then we will become fearless in life. So, and once we are fearless, there will be joy. Kasya sukham. What joy will not? Because with fear, stress, anxiety, agitation of the mind, they will all go. He is showing us how to overcome the very source of fear. So that concludes verse 80. If anybody has any questions, anything to add, we'll say the concluding verse and then take questions, or we will meet. So let us say the concluding verse. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag Bhavit. Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Jalpa. કેમ છો? કેમ છો હિનાબેન?
હા મજામાં બેન. સંભળાયું?
હા હા.
હા.
શું કહે છે હિનાબેન?
મજામાં.
Good, good. How are you, Bhadra?
કેમ છો માસી? અચ્છા મિલાન આવી ગયા એમ? માસી મ્યુટ છે.
હા.
મ્યુટ છે.
Okay, Bhunesh,
હા.
I wanted to ask you something.
Uh-huh.
Neera said next year you are going to become president of Rotary Club. Is it
Not
true?
next year, year after that. By July
Year
22,
after.
I will become president.
You are elect president now.
I'm elect right now.
Okay. Have you started your plan for future?
I'll start from July onwards. July 21
okay.
onwards. I'll start planning for the
Uh-huh.
next year.
Because as they said, in India, you must do something. Are you doing anything from Rotary?
Yes, what we have done this year is we have procured O2 concentrators and now we are giving it free to needy people so that they can have oxygen at their home.
Okay.
So that we are.
Okay. Also, Indian Association from Milan are thinking of sending something there. So, if you think that, do you need anything special? If you have any plan?
See, this oxygen concentrators are in great demand right now.
आवाज कहीं गया हमारा?
સંભળાયો.
Sorry?
Oxygen concentrators are needed very much here. They are in shortage.
Oxygen. Okay.
The oxygen concentrator doesn't need separate oxygen. You don't have to refill. It just concentrates from air and gives you. So it is better.
Nice to see Ketan and Sunil also.
Yeah.
I
After the
insisted
class.
them. I insisted.
Hello.
Thanks.
How
to
are you doing, Tushar?
Thanks to lockdown, Nina.
How is Rushi and them? Okay.
She is perfectly okay. Iha is getting better.
How come
She's my-
Ketan is here today?
Holiday.
Ketan.
It's May Day today, so holiday.
Huh?
1st May, so May Day.
Okay. Yes, yes.
હાય જસ્વીન. જસ્વીને કઈ બોલવાનું નથી.
શું કેમ કાંચીને એમથી એમથી ભાઈ કે પપ્પાનું પૈતું તો તું અપડી
Otherwise, other things. Tushar, all okay?
Yeah,
Tomorrow,
yeah, everything fine.
Tomorrow is the
Yes.
D-day for counting, eh?
Oh, counting from tomorrow.
Yeah.
तुम गया नहीं तुषार?
Didi will have a sleepless night.
तुषार तुम जाने वाला है वोट गिनने के लिए?
कहाँ में?
वोट गिनने के लिए जाने वाला है?
नहीं भाई, not at all.
वो घर में बैठ के टीवी पे देखेगा और
हाँ एकदम.
शेयर बाजार में सौदा करेगा.
हाँ और क्या?
कोलकाता
How come Kanchi is so quiet?
This Kanchi.
I think she's muted. We can't hear her.
No. She's not muted. She's not speaking anything.
I can see her lips move.
But no.
Nah,
voice.
only lip movement is there.
Kanchi, no voice. Your microphone is on. Increase the volume, the microphone.
Hi.
Ketan,
હવે સંભળાય છે?
Ketan, you need to solve.
Okay. No, something wrong with my audio setting. Okay.
Ketan, problem. with Kanchi.
Already solved, Meena.
See, Meena, problem is solved.
I know.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Hi,
Meena
Balram
is-
Masi.
કેમ છે કાચી? I'm
Bus,
fine.
fine. કેમ છે લભાઈ?
બસ સારું છે.
So Ketan, how is it in Bombay with COVID?
Lots of cases,
Oh,
plenty of them.
oh my goodness. And how about Calcutta, Tushar?
Yeah, it's there, but India crossed yesterday 4 lakh cases per day.
Yeah, they're showing every day on the news here.
4 lakh,
It's
4 lakh
really bad.
cases, 400,000
My goodness.
in 24 hours.
But recovery rate કેટલો છે?
Pardon?
Recovery rate કેટલો છે?
It's not a question of recovery rate. See, it's question of when so many people are infected, and if even a 10% people approach hospital, what will be the condition? 40,000 people, where will put them into hospital?
Problem is there is no infrastructure, no number of hospitals compared to number of people here.
Huh?
Number of hospitals are very less compared to number of people here. That is a problem.
So in the
Every infrastructure has its own limitations.
So they had converted railway coaches into hospitals and they had set up all those things. What happened with that?
Mumbai, presently Mumbai has a much better situation. Mumbai, there are beds available, there are hospitals are still, there are few things available, better managed, much better managed. And cases are getting less. We have crossed our peak. Hopefully, I think so.
The problem
Yes.
faced by hospital is also like this, the relatives of the patient increases the oxygen volume. Instead of 2 liter, they'll make it 5 liter, thinking that he'll get better fast. That is how the oxygen is used faster.
Oh, I see. Yeah. We have this mentality